The best thing about the Assassin's Creed series has absolutely nothing to do with assassinating people. I'm not in it for the weird science fiction story or the meta jokes, but rather the way the game weaves real historical events into a fictional adventure about secret societies and their long-lasting impact. In a lot of ways, the brand new episodic series The Council takes a similar approach, giving us a dinner party that's filled with some of the 18th century's most important historical figures. It trades stealth kills for point-and-click puzzles, offering up a delicious new series that hints at what Assassin's Creed might look like if it was made by Telltale Games. This first episode of The Council is intriguing right from the jump. It's the story of Louis de Richet, a member of a secret society who recently accepted an invitation to a dinner party thrown off the shore of England by an enigmatic art collector known as Lord Mortimer. To add to the mystery, Louis's mother, Sarah, has gone missing, and there are now signs of occult activity. It's now up to Louis to investigate the luxurious mansion, get to know the historically relevant party guests, and ultimately figure out what happened to his mother. So this is the kind of graphic adventure where you spend a lot of the time slowly walking around various rooms, picking up items and looking for clues. When you're not wandering around, you'll be locked into a series of lengthy conversations where you choose the response and note the inconsistencies. Instead of combining items and solving a bunch of puzzles, this game is more about hunting down clues that can be used to sway the conversation in your favor and suss out liars. The story and paths will change depending on what you say and how you act. Sometimes it's blatantly obvious, such as giving us a choice between two conflicting options, while most of the time it's a lot more subtle than that. The game is good, maybe too good, about letting you know that you missed a conversation or a story path, since it not only alerts you through a pop-up, but also shows you what you could have done at the end of each chapter. Now, The Council comes to us from Big Bad Wolf, a recently formed French company made up of people who used to work on games like Watch Dogs, Styx, and Rainbow Six Siege. In a lot of ways, this game feels like a response to what Telltale has been doing over the last few years. But I shy away from calling it a ripoff, because this episodic series has done a good job of adding to the formula by offering a bunch of interesting role-playing mechanics. By choosing the right paths, being thorough in the investigation, and always noticing the small details, Louis will gain experience points that can be used to hone his skills. Believe it or not, there's actually a skill tree that lets you plug points into everything from manipulation, to logic, to etiquette. He'll also pick up and read books about politics and vigilance that'll improve his skills. All this is used to get more information out of the other partygoers and make your investigation that much easier. Now, much like Assassin's Creed, a lot of the fun of this game revolves around hanging around well-known historical figures like George Washington and Napoleon Bonaparte. They do a good job of playing around with history and giving us a compelling mystery that is filled with eccentric characters and even hints at something supernatural is going on. If this first episode was intended to get me invested in the characters and the story, then mission accomplished. Unfortunately, the execution isn't nearly as compelling as the mystery. The gameplay is slow and clunky, the acting is occasionally iffy, and the graphics swing wildly from looking great to looking awful. However, probably the most annoying thing about the game is how the developer likes to put white text over white objects, making it nearly impossible to read certain conversations. They also insist on popping information up on the screen, which, if I'm being honest, I found to be a bit distracting. Oh, and did I mention that nobody changes their clothing between days? That's weird, but probably not the most pressing concern. The Mad Ones is a good pilot episode that eases you into the period, introduces you to a lot of colorful characters, and hooks us by spinning an intriguing mystery full of secret societies and occult activities. It's a little on the unpolished side, and the gameplay is a tad clunky, but I liked the role-playing elements, and I was hooked by the story. The 2-hour runtime flies by, and it left me excited to see what happens at the next meeting of the Council. Hey, thanks for watching our review. So here's the question of the day. What historical moment in time do you want to see developers tackle next? We've already jumped around a bunch in the last decade, and that's just from Assassin's Creed games. But what are some of the years and events that end up getting short shrift? Let me hear your thoughts in the comments below. In other news, I'm currently hard at work on Yakuza 6, and should have a review up on Thursday. We'll also unveil our newest episode of Great Moments in Bad Acting on Wednesday. In the meantime, I strongly recommend you click that subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then.